learners, and welcome to another session about tribes of Arunachal Pradesh. Now in the part 1, Arunachal Pradesh as a state was introduced. We discussed about the people, the tribes, and we also highlighted the flora and fauna within the state. It was also discussed that the state has a rich mineral deposits and many untapped mineral resources. We also discussed the economy and the tradition and culture prevalent within the state. The potential for development of tourism within the state has also been discussed. Now, we also looked about the tribes of Adi, Yeshi and Apitani in the first part. Now, let's move ahead and look at the different tribes which is there in Arunachal Pradesh. I will begin with the Tagans. The Tagans are Indo-Mongoloid tribe. They speak a dialect belonging to Tibeto-Burmese group. The Tagans believe in one supreme creator called Abotani, who created this earth and supposed to be the ancestor of human beings and tigers. Besides the supreme being, they have a number of deities like Chonglotago, the deity of the earth, Daulatago, the deity of the sky, Tenkit-Rimet and Donki-Rimet, their wife, and Chongdur and Dodur, their brothers, who ultimately became the priests. Now, there are other benevolent deities like Togung, Ponung, Mindek and Rabdik, who are responsible for joy and happiness. In addition, they believe in a number of evil spirits residing in trees, sky, spring, rivers, hills, etc., who are responsible for disease, death and miseries. Their culture, prayer festivals, etc., revolves around all these deities and spirits. The Tagans are basically agriculturists. They live on agricultural products and meat they get by hunting wild animals and by killing domestic animals like mithun, pig, etc. They follow Juming. Besides paddy, which is the main agricultural crop, they produce maize, pulses, vegetables, etc. Now let us move ahead and look at the tribes of Mishmi. Mishmi tribe, mostly settled in Lohit district of Arunachal Pradesh, are one of the Mongoloid tribes of Tibeto-Burmese origin. The Mishmi society is divided into a number of exogamous, which is known as the practice of marrying outside one social group. Now, they are of exogamous clan, and the larger clans are again divided into sub-clans. The numbers of clans trace their origin from single ancestor. The three major Mishmi clans are Idus, the Rauns and Kamans. Now, religious values of Mishmis has high philosophical value and can be compared with those of Rig Veda. They also believe in spirits, both malevolent and benevolent. And if you look at the meaning of malevolent, then it means that it is an evil spirit, the one who wants to do harm to you, and benevolent is the one who's all-encompassing, who's a giving spirit. And so they follow a sort of magic ritual too. The different group of Mishmis have different names for the supreme god. Idu call him Ini, while the Tarauns and Kamans call him as Japmalu and Matai respectively. They believe the supreme god is beyond all human propitiations and therefore no sacrifices or offerings are made to him. But his name is invariably invoked on all sacrificial and ritualistic occasions. It is also believed that in case of death due to accident or unnatural death, the soul becomes an evil spirit. The religious rites and sacrifices of the Mishmi are conducted by the priests who are called Goak or Kambrang. The Idus recognize two classes of priests who have different functions. There are senior experienced priests who officiate at various ceremonies. The others are medicine men concerned with causes and cure of diseases, more or less Vedyas. Now, the Mishmi may be termed as a festive tribe or tribe of joy, particularly since they believe any day of the year is auspicious for a ceremony if provision exists and animals and birds available for sacrifice. Name of the festival and up to certain extent varied from clan to clan. Dai Batai is the main festival of the Taraun clan of Mishmi tribe. Tamla or Taka is a festival celebrated by sacrificing animals every year to please village deity who protects the village. Re is one of the most important individual festivals celebrated by Idus for 6 days. The festival is so expensive that this can only be celebrated once or twice in lifetime. During the festival, outsiders are not allowed to enter the village. Most of the festivals of Idus are related to agriculture. Mishmis are an exception to sense of village community, which is very strong among other tribes of Northeast. A Mishmi village is merely a scattered collection of houses. Obviously, village chief system or autocratic or democratic ruling system is almost absent in their society. Handloom and handicrafts are in the blood of Mishmi people. Spinning, extraction of fiber and weaving are work of Mishmi women, while the men are famous for cane and bamboo work. Now let us go and understand about the Kamti tribe. The Kamtis are a quite industrious and progressive people of Shan or Thai stock who migrated from the Bor Kamti country near the source of the Irrawaddy about 200 years ago. The Kamti tribe is populating the southeastern Arunachal Pradesh in Lohit district on the southern bank of the Brahmaputra in the vicinity of Sadia of the Assam Valley. Now, Kamti means tied to the spot or a gold spot. Now, when they entered Assam, first they settled round Tengapani. Later on, they captured Sadia from the Ahom governor, the Sadia Kowa Gohain, and the Kamp chief himself became the Kowa Gohain. The tribe thus settled itself around Sadia. Now, the Kamti language is an Indo-Chinese tongue of the Thai family. They have an old traditional script of their own. The Kamtis are far advanced of all the Arunachal tribes in knowledge, arts and civilization. They are Buddhists and have regular establishments of priests well versed in the recondite mysteries of their religion. The Kamtis have two great religious festivals in the year, one to celebrate the birth and the other to mourn the death of Gautama. In agriculture, the Kamtis are advanced. They have acquired the agricultural pattern to the standard of their Assamese neighbors. They grow paddy, mustard, potato and vegetables. They rear cows, buffaloes and other domestic animals. The milking of cow is known to them. The rice beer, which they call thorn, is a favorite beverage among them. Kamtis are business-minded people. In marriage, Kamtis observe the clan exogamy and tribal endogamy, that is, marrying within a specific social group, caste or ethnic group, and exogamy, as explained, is marrying outside the caste or ethnic group. Now, the bachelor's dormitories for the young women are in existence. The young girl, on attaining puberty, is sent to the dormitory. The dormitory is administered by old maidens. Monogamy is a rule, but the chiefs do have more than one wife. In case of polygamy, the first wedded wife is considered the lady of the house. The cross-cousin marriage is allowed and the society is patriarchal. In inheritance, the wealth is distributed equally among the sons. Their society is divided into social hierarchy. Highest is the chieftain's family, then the priest class, which is a noble class, respected by all other classes as it is concerned with performance of religious rituals. Third is a class of common people. Now, let us look at the tribes of Nokte. Bulk of the Nokte people are settled in Tirap district of Arunachal Pradesh. The Nokte society is patriarchal, patrilineal and patrilocal. It is organized under chiefs, each controlling a number of villages, and the major chief receives tribute from subordinate villages. The chief is called Lowang. The chief and his descendants form a separate class called Lawangjat, while the commoners are called Sanajat. Each of these two classes consists of many clans or lineage groups. A striking feature of the Nokte community is its chums or physical divisions of the village. All clans within a particular chum have a common name. The Noktes believe in the existence of a supreme being whom they variously call Janban, Jongban or Tesong, who is ambivalent, having both good and evil aspects. He causes miseries and troubles as well as bring joy and prosperity to human beings. They also believe in a number of spirits and deities. The benevolent spirits and deities dwell in houses and protect human beings from sorrow and miseries. They are worshipped regularly, offering food and other items in order to get their support to fight the malevolent spirit. Malevolent. By benevolent spirit, we mean the good spirit, and the malevolent spirit, we mean the bad spirit. The Noctis came under the influence of Hinduism through Vaishnava movement in Assam. Vaishnavism was carried to the Nocte area by one Naga Narottam about 250 years ago when Ahoms were the ruler of Assam. The Noctis believed that after death, the soul substance called Mang or Jakhang returns to Ulim or Balum, a place in the sky. It may take the shape of a sky and appear on the day when the dead body is disposed of. In case of abnormal deaths, they believe that the soul turns into evil spirits. The Nocte family consists of father, mother, and their unmarried children. The sons, except the eldest one, leave the ancestral house after marriage and establish their new houses. The married sons are, however, permitted to stay in the ancestral house with their wives if there is sufficient accommodation for them till they attained parenthood. The father is the head of the family and he is succeeded by his eldest son. One of the most important ceremonies of Noctes is called Jauban Chowom. It is performed once or twice in a year in each village. Time of the performance of the ceremony varies a good deal from one place to another and is connected with harvesting of millets. During the ceremony, the rice beer or zu is prepared and kept in the house of the priest. Persons from neighboring village are not allowed to enter the village during the ceremony. Duidam is a ceremony performed by the priest near the village gate by offering chicken to Spirit Tesang and Sagam to save villagers from calamities and diseases. The principal festival of Noctes is Loku, celebrated around the month of July-August, just after harvesting finger millet. The word Loki is derived from life, meaning to drive out, and Ranku or season. Loku, therefore, literally means to drive out of the old season or year. The sowing festivals are Kopkut and Chaliwan. The festival Ronglo is connected with harvesting of millets, while the Chalao is with that of paddy. Noctes rely on jhum cultivation or slash and burn agriculture. Of late, however, some of them have started wet rice cultivation. Their crops are paddy, millet, arum, tapioca, maize, and a few local pulses. Now, let us look at the other tribes. Now, we know that in the state of Arunachal Pradesh, there are a number of tribes. So, we are trying and understanding each of these tribes. Now, let us look at the Wanchos tribe. Wanchos mostly stay in Tirap district of Arunachal Pradesh. The villages are controlled by hereditary chief. There are 4 Wanchos classes. Each class is formed on the basis of marriage relations, and each one of them receives social recognition according to their gradation and status in the social hierarchy. The highest of these classes are the Wanchams, that is chief, enjoying special privileges and position in the society. The lowest of these classes are the Wangpans, the commoners. Between their classes, there are 2 intermediary classes, that is the Wangshas and the Wangsus, who sprung from their inter-class marriages. The Wangshas are the descendants of Waham men and Wangpan women, whereas Wangsus are said to have descended from marriage between Wangpan men and Wangham women. Now, the Wanghams, the Wangxia, and the Wangsus particularly control the society, and the Wangpans merely obey and abide by the decision of the higher classes. This is similar to the principle in Hindu society, where Sudras are born to carry out orders of Brahman, Kshatriya, and Vaishyas. The Wangchos have a vague belief in the supreme god of the heavens called Rang, the benevolent creator. They believe that the benevolent sky god Rang is eternally opposed by Baurang, a god of the earth and the male destroyer. These 2 deities are brothers, so it's like we have the good and the bad among the god. Now, the supreme god Rang created men and animals, and he takes care of them, whereas Baurang is a destroyer of human beings and the animals. Besides these 2 principal gods, There are a number of spirits Wangchos believe in, and worshipping and appeasing the spirits and deities are part of rituals during festivals. The spirit propitiated by the Wangchos are Bua, the benevolent jungle deity, Lam Longkang, the rainbow spirit, Hung Wang, a malevolent water spirit, and so on. The smallest unit of the Wangcho society is the family, consisting of father, mother, and their children. They also follow a joint family system. The grown-up boys of the village sleep apart in bachelors' dormitories. There is no separate dormitory for unmarried girls. When a family becomes too large and it is established or difficult to accommodate, the younger married sons establish separate houses for their families, while eldest son occupies ancestral houses and continue to look after his old parents. In the joint family, all the members take their meal from a common herd. Now, the management of the kitchen and the cooking of food are the responsibilities of the eldest female member of the family, who is wife of the head of the family. There are a number of Wangcho festivals. It varies according to area of inhabitants. However, most important festival of Wangchos is OGLA, which is celebrated during March, April, just after sowing paddy. It is celebrated by all Wangchos, irrespective of area of inhabitants. Dances are held around long ceremonial pole called Jangban, planted for the occasion. Sakila and Chachai festival are held to celebrate the sowing of millet and paddy. Chachaban is a festival celebrated on the occasion of harvesting of millet. Besides this, Lao Dongle, Chachian and Pautagle are also the festivals connected with harvesting. Wangcho women are expert spinners and weavers. Wangchos have a keen sense of colors and combination. Wangchos are also known for wood carving. The central motif in wood carving is a human head. The head hunting is the inspiration not only of the wooden or brass heads worn by the warriors, but also of carving on drinking mugs and pipes, of head hunting scenes on the pillars of dormitory, and human figures carved on baskets. The Wangchos are good craftsmen for manufacture of cane and bamboo items and are well-known blacksmiths as well. Wangchos too have a number of dances for various occasions. Hamboshon dance is performed after construction of chief's house. Dong Thanepu dance is performed when a number of the chief lineage dies. Dong Thanepu dance is performed when a member of the chief lineage dies. Galangpo is a dance performed after the enemy is defeated and his head, the hands and feet are placed at the entrance of the village. Now let us look into the tribes of Tangsa. Tangsa people belong to Tibeto-Burmese group occupying the eastern hills of Tirap district of Arunachal Pradesh. Now the word Tangsa, if we break it into, means hill people. Tang is hill and Sa means people. So Tangsa means hill people. Now the Tangsa story of migration alludes to the fact that search for cultivable land and intertribal feuds compelled them to migrate from their abode across the Patkai and settle in present place of inhabitants a few centuries ago. Tangsa tribe is divided into sub-tribes and clans. Important Tangsa sub-tribes are Havs, Moklums, Kemshings, Rongrangs, Mosongs or Mosangs, Yogish and Lungchangs. The sub-tribes are divided into a number of ancestral exogamous clans. By now you would know the meaning of exogamy, which is marrying outside the clans or the ethnic group. Now the clan organization regulates the marriage but not the political life of the people. There is no clan distinction among the Tangsas. The Tangsas believe in an invisible supreme being who lives in the heaven and is personified by the name of Sikya, Pra or Rangkau Hawa. He is considered to be fountain of blessings for mankind, but they do not worship him nor do they propitiate him by offering sacrifices, for he does not harm human beings nor he desires anything from them. The Tangsas believe in a number of deities or spirits called Tangs or Sangs or Zubedis. to whom sacrifices are offered. The Tangsa appease the malignant deities or spirits by performing rituals according to a sort of a magical religious system. Now, there is also a deity called Himatai to whom they used to sacrifice human beings earlier. Now, the practice is not relevant. The profession of a priest or diviner in the Tangsa society is not hereditary. Anyone, whether man or woman, having acquired sufficient knowledge of the procedure of the craft may aspire for the position. The tradition is handed down orally from generation to generation. The priest is considered to be a pious man. The Tangsas also consult the omens before embarking on any work, be it hunting, agriculture or fishing. The omen is indicated through the position of legs of the sacrificed chicken or through the bamboos placed on the fire. Tangsas believe in curing diseases by propitiating spirits who they consider to be responsible for various maladies. They celebrate 3 major agricultural festivals, one before sowing, second after sowing, and the third when seedlings grow about 30 centimeters high. This is how particular they are. Now, the greatest festival of Tangsas is Lamra or Perong, which is celebrated after the harvest. Now, let us look at the tribe of Singpos. Among the many other tribes that we have learnt about, we are going to learn about tribes of Singpos now. The Singpos live in the foothill of the Miao subdivision of Tirap district of Arunachal Pradesh, adjoining the southern boundary of the Lohit district. The Singpo boundary is blessed with the river Nao Dihing and the tributaries of Burhi Dihing, and this gives indirect help to their economic stability. The Singpo also belong to the Tibeto-Burmese group linguistically. They have Mongoloid features, stout figures and average height. A basic point that differentiates Singpos from other tribes of Arunachal is that they have their own script, which is based on Shan script. Like other tribes, the Singpo also have clan system or class system. The Singpos are divided into a number of clans or group, each under a chief. Their clans organization is based on lineages or sub-lineage groups. All these groups are patrilineal. The chief of a Singpo group has several privileges, but his authority is not absolute. He is, in theory, the lord of all lands in the territory under his jurisdiction, but in practice, individual rights in land are also recognized. The distinction between the chief and his people is in some measure bridged by the elders who command great position and influence in the society and can exercise separate jurisdiction in the event of the chief's failure. Traditionally, the Singpos had their own religion, which was more or less an animist or magical religious in nature. They had a number of spirits whom they used to worship. The malevolent spirit, known as Nats, are propitiated regularly by sacrificing bulls, cows and chicken. They also used to have several house deities like Ngilche, Pungpoi, Natkum, etc. But about a century back, a revolutionary changes took place in their society. And what could that be? Let us go on and understand. A Buddhist monk called Dingla Troto baptized them into Buddhism. He built a Buddhist monastery at Pakyal village. The Singpos call this temple Samuk Singh, where they go for pilgrimage. Though they have embraced Buddhism, Singpos have not given up their old faith. Singpos have priests to carry out religious rites. Those priests who carry out traditional rituals are known as Dramsa, while the Buddhist priests are Pungua. The principal Singpo ceremonies are based on Buddhism. Sanken, an important Buddhist religious festival, is observed by them. The festival is observed for 3 days. The occasion is a ceremonial bath of the image of Lord Buddha. They also have certain agricultural festivals, one of which is known as Sanjo, which is held before the sowing of the seeds. On this occasion, they sacrifice 1 pig and 4 hens to appease the deity of agriculture. Namang Chule, another festival, is characterized by offering of rice grains and sacrifice animal to the deity of agriculture in order to protect the plants from pests and insects. Manglup is a death ceremony performed by the relatives of the deceased with the villagers. Now the Singpos cremate the body, but again bury the bones of the deceased during the Manglup ceremony. When a village is established, each family is allotted with a plot of land. One can construct house in a suitable site within the limits of the plot allotted to him. But one will have right over the land as long as one occupies it. If one abandons it to settle in another village, one loses the right of ownership. As regards agriculture is concerned, the Singpos may be considered as an exception among the tribes. They practice both dry and wet rice cultivation of paddy by transplantation using better implements for tilling. Besides paddy and millet, other crops include potato, maize and mustard. Now with this, we come to the end of this session. We shall continue in the next session about the other tribes of Arunachal Pradesh. Thank you for listening.